Hey guys, so I've been getting a few requests on how I draw faces. And not just any faces, but like different kinds. Specifically, lady faces. So it's sort of like, it was tough for me to learn, and I've been doing this for a while, so don't expect to get it perfectly right away. Just all it does is it takes practice. And you have to kind of just find joy in the process, find joy in the work. So whether or not you turn out with something that's good, then, you know, at least you have something. So even if you make like crappy drawing, you're at least like one crappy drawing closer to a little bit more practice. So let's see. And I think I'd really want to tackle how I draw faces of different ethnicities. I think it really helps to do that because most of the time when people like to draw girly faces, or let's say they draw male faces, or at least male presenting faces. Heroic face. Let's just be generic for a while. And then they have different kinds of faces, like this, and then they have like you know, they have the guys, but you know, when they come to the girls, it's always the same kind of face. It's the same freaking kind of face, like this, and it's like, if you're trying to go for a specific style and you have that, like a diverse row of different male faces, then you could at least try to make the female faces, you know, also just as diverse. But I think it's a marketing thing, honestly. But you could tell that people are getting tired of it because every time you go to any new Disney video, you could see that people are complaining about this face right here. It's the face. Or like the same type of nose that people will draw. Like, I know, like, at the end of the day, we all just want to relax and we just want to draw what we want to draw, but it kind of gets tiring to see that same kind of face all the time, you know? So it would be cool if we could try to practice different kinds of faces, you know, just try, you know. So I guess how I started practicing drawing different kinds of, you know, female faces was just, you know, look at your friends, maybe go to Facebook, look at your friends list or your friends list, or, but when I draw, let's say, someone's face, think of a person. There's nothing wrong with having like a heart-shaped, standard sort of conventionally attracted face, but of course you have. This is just how I do it. I'm not really trying to break stuff down too much because you know, what matters is that you're expressing an emotion through the character. And let's say we make their nose a little bit different. And let's say this is all that's visible. Oop. And I think the sort of problem that happens is when you do have, you know, a lot of different characters that you're starting to see on TV that start to look a little bit outside of conventional standards of beauty for women. it helps to also just kind of, like, you could kind of see that other people, or like kids, start to have, you know, a little bit of trouble learning how to draw these characters at first, compared to if they just drew them the regular old anime way. So like, and this is normal, it's just that, you know, the more and more you get exposed to, like different kinds of characters, you really have to try to put in the effort of trying to draw them different ways. And if it helps, break them down into simple shapes. So let's say, for example, so-and-so copyrighted characters. You know, in the beginning when they drew this character, break them down into basic shapes. Same thing here. Basic shapes. So it's like an oval. Oopsie. And different eye shapes too. Notice that you could also vary the shape of the lips. So this shape right here, her face is also long. Or like, let's say, someone with a wider face. Compared to someone with like maybe a longer face. And there's different ways to draw different kinds of characters. Always helps to also look at reference, because sometimes if you don't look at the reference, you end up falling into, you know, how you see the character in your mind and not how there are different versions of this character. Like, for example, sample character right here. There could be different kinds of ways that she could wear, you know, her hair, her hijab. Not just this one way. This character is just one girl among like a bajillion girls. So, same thing here. Maybe this character wears their hair in a different way. Or maybe your sister might wear it in a different way. I think with children, let's say I'm drawing a child. When children are very, very young, or like any young animal, very, very small animal, you do want to keep things very, very cutesy. But the older they get, try to diversify them a little bit more. Yeah. So remember, always look at reference. So let's say I'm going to look at reference. There's so many different styles, see? so many different shapes that you could figure out. Or like, let's say, my friend recently went to this, but there's so many different kinds of ways that different kinds of women can wear their hair. Builders. Those are bodybuilders, though. Or how about Hawaiian athletes? See, different kinds of body shapes. Or like if people are different genders. And you could really make them really all come to life by, you know, number one, observation, reference, and then observation, and then internal, I guess internal emotion, and how that gets expressed through external emotion. This is there's honestly so many possibilities in different ways that you could portray different kinds of people. Especially people who aren't just, you know, white guys. Because I feel like in every single thing, like if, like, let's say we were to humanize a non-human character, there's a sort of tendency that people will fall into to sort of humanize them into the same sort of white guy, which is not bad, but, you know, out of all the different possibilities that you could do, there's different things you could do. Try to explore those different things. And I think there's sort of that fear that it's like, oh, I don't want to offend anybody, I don't want to do it the wrong way. Well, I guess for me, I've gone through, you know, certain processes where I didn't know what I was doing, and so I would ask people, like, especially if you do something wrong, you just, you know, it's just like if you make a bunch of thumbnails and you find that not all of them are doing it for you, then you do it over again. In this case, you would do, you know better, so you do better. See? It's not really a tutorial, but just really how I sort of like figure out different ways to draw different characters. If you guys are interested in any more of my little demos, then please let me know. Any comments, suggestions, or violent reactions, feel free to let me know. And I really appreciate you for taking the time to listen to this. I'm still learning myself. I'm still practicing and learning more about different ways that I like to design characters versus different ways that other people might find appealing. And appeal is sort of very subjective for me, because every time people talk about appeal, they think that it sort of fits in this like unbreakable sort of like time-tested focus group sort of thing, when really they're just social constructs. You know, what may go over here in the US might not go over well in another country, you know, and the influence of like cartoons that come out from the US, it's worldwide, so why shouldn't we try to like diversify and expand that? I mean, I know this is just art and it's just cartoons, and you can't really solve the world's problems just through art and cartoons, but there's so many different possibilities and so many different things that last throughout time, and art is one of those things. So that's why I believe that it's important to try your best to like kind of do better. It's like if we were just to kind of do things the way they have always been, then art wouldn't change, art wouldn't evolve. And so if we try better, it'll always just be better in the end. And if not, then that's why we try more and more. And That's my little spiel on it. I mean, no one has to agree with this, but it's what helps me drive in my art. So, with that, I hope you guys have a good day, and hopefully you enjoyed my little demonstration. Next time, I'll try to figure out what I can sort of tackle in the future, and until then, you guys take care. Thank you!